Hey, good morning. Rise, shine, rise and grind, baby. Get all that road work. Open your lungs. Hey, straight, let's go, push. Push, let's go. Push, hey, let's go. Hit the ball. Let's go. Push. Hey. 10 miles in the books, baby. Hey guys, how you doing? Just got done running my 10 miles, baby. Hey. Hey guys, now I have a question. I want to talk about Frank Dux and his record. He has like a crazy amount, like 300 fights and 0 losses. And like half of my knockout and all that, something crazy. And when I was a kid, I thought to myself, wow, that's very impressive. But I look at my research, I look on YouTube, I read forums. People kind of make fun of him, saying that's a ridiculous amount. That's way too much. No one can get 300 fights, in one lifetime. So of course, it makes a lot of sense because Frank Dux ended up being kind of a fraud. He made that whole story about blood sport all up. It's all fake. Of course, if you ask Frank Dux, he swears by it. He swears that the whole event was real. He has a 300-something fight record, no losses, like a giant number of knockouts. So when I heard that record, 300 fights, 300 wins, 0 losses, everyone's making fun of it, everyone's dogging him, saying that's a ridiculous amount, that's way too much. It got me thinking, in the mixed martial art community, in the jiu-jitsu community, we have someone very famous, very likable. Well, I like him, but he's very respected in the community. Grandmaster Rickson Gracie. His record is 500. Oh, no losses. And because Rickson Gracie, he actually has fights. He fought fighters over Japan. You can actually see footage. You can buy DVDs and you see him fight. So I think no one really questions his record. But here's the thing though, you look up Fight Finder, or you go on Sherdog, you look up Rickson Gracie, and his record's only like 8-0 or 10-0. So it's not nowhere near 100, freaking not even close to 500. So here's the question. My question is, why is Frank Dux record? He's on a 365-7-0, 300-0 record, and everyone's like bad mouthing him, calling him like an imposter, fraud, the ridiculous amount of fights. Why is Frank Dux is record impossible? But Rickson Gracie, is like, oh, of course, 500-0. Which is more than Frank Dux, but no one blinks an eye. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I trained jiu-jitsu, me and my buddy, Jared Rowland, you guys know Jared Rowland from the Ultimate Fighter. I think it's season, I don't remember what season, but Jared Rowland, he's a black guy with a mohawk, he's called J-Rock. Yeah, we went to the same jiu-jitsu school, and we used to joke around about Rickson Gracie, saying how I had 500 fights. We just make fun of him and say like, oh, every time you tap somebody, that's a fight. I tapped you, I'm 1-0. Tap 2, that's 2-0, tap 3. Now he has 500 taps. But I mean, seriously, like, even if you fight every day of your life for a year, you still want to get 500 fights. That's crazy. You still gotta rest. You still gotta freaking heal up from those fights. I mean, like, how long do you think it took him to get 500? Like, when did he start? As a kid, as a teenager? Like, 500 fights. That's a lot of fights. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think about his record. If his record 500 is legit, he really did fight 500 fights and never lost. And any questions for me, or anything you want to comment, leave a comment below. Be sure to really get back to you guys. Until next time guys, fight or die. Hey!